What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Skeen, alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen,
we're back.
Super wild card weekend.
It was awesome. It was great.
It was very good. Besides last night's game that we obviously, or 2 nights ago, that we obviously streamed.
I went 6-0 in my pool though because I did pick Dallas in that.
I'm convinced that it was because we streamed it that it was a shitty game.
It was never going to be a good game if we streamed it. We could have streamed the Chargers Jaguars and it would have been 31-0.
They wouldn't have made that comeback.
Yeah.
One of my friends that I saw earlier in the day on Monday before the game, he was like, "All the games were so awesome this weekend, so tonight's gonna suck." I'm like, "Don't say that."
Is your mic on?
Other side. You're close.
No, it wasn't. Boom pop, baby.
All right, what were you saying?
Now we're done.
I don't know. Oh yeah, my on Monday, my friend was saying like earlier in the day, he goes, "Yeah, all the games this weekend were so awesome, so that means tonight's probably gonna be terrible." I'm like, don't say that.
I mean, that's just how it has to go sometimes, right? It's like we always have to have one stinker, and we didn't get any this. I mean, there were a couple that were like on the verge. The San Fran game turned into a stinker, but wasn't at the beginning. The Chargers game could have been a stinker. Jaguars made it not
there
a
wasn't
stinker.
really any source of entertainment in the Cowboys game at all. Well, besides missing the 4 extra points, that was pretty entertaining. That was funny.
The Buffalo-Miami game turned out to be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Way closer than people thought.
And so did Cincinnati-Baltimore. A lot of drama in that game. So the games that I think we thought were going to be stinkers were not stinkers, and the games that...
Well, the game we thought was going to be the best game of the weekend definitely was not the best game of the weekend.
No. But, I mean, what was the best game of the weekend?
Has to be Chargers, no?
Has to be
I
the
think so.
Chargers game.
Well,
Because
best game,
even like the Giants game was close, but the Giants were in control the whole time. There was
best game is like hard to define. Like I feel like yes.
Which game were you most entertained watching?
The Bills game, I would say.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of like, all right, the Dolphins shouldn't be in this game, yet they're like causing turnovers. They're keeping, Josh Allen not turning into Superman. Like it was just one of those things where you expected like 41-0 Bills, and then it's 14-0 Bills, and they catch a third touchdown, and then oh wait, he didn't actually catch the touchdown, and then from that point on, it was like the Bills were like, all right, now we have a chance. Like now we're gonna fight, and we're gonna keep staying in this. So it was one of those games that was surprising, yet they just kept making enough plays to make it interesting.
Skylar Thompson, how do we feel?
He played very good in the second half, I would say.
Yeah, the first half he didn't play very well, but Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill really weren't helping him out.
Well, that's the other thing, too. Like, Jalen Waddle dropped, like, a 50-yard pass. Tyreek Hill dropped, like, a 10 or 12-yard pass. Like,
Didn't Jalen Waddle...
He dropped
two back-to-back
Yeah.
that he easily could have had.
So, not doing your rookie quarterback any favors there, but...
I'd say out of the rookies, Brock Purdy probably had the best outing. Is he the real deal, man? Is he?
if they go to the Super Bowl, he should definitely. I don't know,
but like either way, what he's done so far.
If he wins this playoff game and he plays well, like even if they don't win the NFC Championship, like I don't know, I would say roll with them because I think the team really likes him too. But then the Niners also said that they'd want to go after Tom Brady in the offseason. But why would you do that?
Well,
you're gonna mess up the rhythm.
Yeah,
the rhythm.
If you like Brock Purdy that much, then obviously they don't. Or
I mean,
they wouldn't be going after Tom Brady if they like Brock Purdy.
So what are they gonna do with Trey Lance?
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jimmy Garoppolo is probably gonna be gone.
Yeah, Jimmy G's gone. I don't know. Like, you just can't trade him. How do you trade? Because you're not getting anywhere near the value that you paid for him.
No.
What are you doing? A second round paid for Trey Lance?
After paying him in the
NFL
first
trades
round.
are weird because you think like, oh, this guy's gonna go for like a third, and then he goes for like a seventh or something.
Yeah,
it's
like, crazy.
Oh, okay.
You're like, okay,
Obviously, if they were to try to break even, they just get a first round. But I don't think anyone's giving up a first round for Trey
Didn't they
Lance.
give up multiple picks for him? They gave up multiple picks for Trey Lance.
What, to move up?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you're right.
So what is the point of selling 20 cents on the dollar right now?
Yeah, but then you're just gonna have him as your third string?
Well, I mean, if they sign,
If you can get a second and a third for him, I mean, why not? If you're
They're getting Aaron Rodgers.
the 49ers,
Yes.
I don't know.
yeah, unless they would just say, hey, Brock, you looked really good. Maybe sit behind Brady and Rodgers for a year. But Rodgers is a guy that's like, well, that's not my job.
Well, but if I'm Brock too, I'm not. I'm not taking that either.
No, I would be pissed
No,
off.
but something has to give. Like
You have to keep Lance and Brock, and it has to be a QB battle next year. I think that's the only way you can do it.
I think that's a mistake.
Why?
Well, they're gonna swing for Brady and or Rodgers. They have to.
If I'm them, I'm not touching Rodgers. I'm either going after Brady or I'm doing nothing. But I'm only going after Brady for like the aesthetic of Brady on the 49ers. Like I'm not doing it because
I think they definitely make substantial swings at both.
Do you think Brady is better than Brock Purdy in that system right now?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
can I
Like
know?
I feel like anybody in that system would do well,
Brady
but
would
I'd
do
rather
great.
have the vet Hall of Famer than
Yeah.
a rookie, and then my rookie can learn from the vet Hall of Famer.
I'm just saying they've won every game he's
Yeah,
started.
no, I know that, but I mean,
No, I know
We
that,
get the
but-
playoffs this weekend. Let's see if he looks like a rookie at all.
There's gonna be a reality check at some point. He's not just gonna win every game from now on.
Says who?
It says probability. He win. He like
He could win the
He
Super
plays-
Bowl.
he
How
plays
can the
10 years and never
how
loses
can
a game.
How do you say the 49ers can't win the Super Bowl?
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying there's gonna be a reality check at some point.
And he could pass.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, if I can make a swing for either Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, that's like a once in a lifetime thing. Why would you not make the swing?
I wouldn't be in the Aaron Rodgers business if I was the 49ers.
Any quarterback can look good in that system.
I get it. But so why would you bring in the biggest diva in the league?
So my rookie quarterback can learn from a Hall of Fame quarterback.
My point exactly.
It's a better setup for the future.
But Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to teach him, and Brock Purdy doesn't want to be the starters.
I think Aaron Rodgers has changed his tone on that since I think he was just mad that
if he's in a better situation, like with things surrounding him, he probably wouldn't care as much. He was just pissed off with the 49ers because he feels like they didn't, not the 49ers, the Packers, because he feels like they didn't build the roster in a way
instead
that
of getting a wide
favored him.
receiver or something, they got a
That's what I
quarterback.
mean.
Like he was just pissed that 1 year, but I think he's changed his
49ers,
tone.
yeah, the roster is built for any quarterback to succeed over there, and a guy with talent like Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he just won the MVP last year. Who the hell says he couldn't do it again if he was on a team like the 49ers?
I think so. I mean, I think like the 49ers would be his best bet if he left the Packers.
Yeah, and then I wouldn't be tempted to bet the fucking Packers anymore. So that would be good.
Yeah, I think he has to leave the Packers. I don't think there's any way he stays.
all that money will just go to the Broncos. It's okay.
It will. It will.
Yeah, you're going to bet the Broncos
They're
every
winning
game.
the division next year.
Shut the fuck. Not when Brady's in Vegas. That's where he's going.
Dude, it's just
He's not going to go
it
to
just
Vegas.
doesn't make sense. Why would he go to the AFC? Why would he go play Justin Herbert twice a year? Why would he go play fucking Patrick Mahomes twice a year? It just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
It makes no sense.
I agree with Antonio. It doesn't
And then,
make any
not to
sense.
mention, like Josh Allen also in the AFC, Joe Burrow also in the AFC, Lawrence now AFC quarterback. That's where all the hot young quarterbacks are. Why does he want to go there?
So that means Lamar goes to the NFC.
Maybe. Yeah, him too. I didn't even say his name.
He could go to the Niners.
I think that's why Tom, like,
Ew.
I do think the
How
Bucks
good
are the
is it,
best fit for Tom Brady, but at the same time, the NFC was a better fit for Tom Brady because all these young, awesome kids were coming up at the time that Tom was leaving.
And that fucking division, bro. How can you not just stay in that division where you're automatically in a playoff spot?
Yeah, there's still talent there. Maybe get a different head coach, but
I mean, Todd Bowles is so bad. Let's talk about that. That game was so bad. How did the Bucks not like play better? I don't understand.
They couldn't do anything.
They couldn't do anything, like nothing. And yo, that first half was Tom's fault.
They
That
did
first,
4 touchdown drives in a row, I think, in the middle of the game.
yeah.
They did 4 touchdown drives in the middle of the game.
couldn't get a stop on third down.
Could not get a
once.
stop. And you're right. I mean, that Brady interception was like,
It turned the whole game.
it was like, what was he? Was he throwing the ball away? I still don't
Yeah.
know. It was like definitely he was throwing the ball.
They just
away.
never came back from that.
Seen
It turned the
ghosts.
whole game around. They had all the momentum. It would have been 7-6.
Oh yeah. If
Like-
Evans touches that touchdown too, I'm not saying they'd have 2 more onside kicks, but they definitely would have
Oh,
made it.
yeah.
They,
no,
they
you're in
def-
fantasy land
They
over
definitely
there.
would have made it a little interesting.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I mean, I think you're in fantasy land over there if you think that was going to get them back.
No, but
They lost it way before that. I mean, when Dallas scores to make it, what was it? It was 18, and then it was, 26 or 25? Or 24 because they missed the extra point again. When they got that touchdown, I was like, this game's over because, like, they were just doing nothing at that point.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tampa's been disappointing all season. It's not like this is surprising in my mind. Like we've seen this game
Yeah, they suck.
5 or 6 other times by them where they can't run the ball and Brady has to throw the ball basically every play, and it's just predictable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned on Monday, like, not only are they able to get into the playoffs with a shitty record because their division sucks, but if they were in another division, they would have gone like 5-12.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're completely right. They just
Bad team.
yeah. Any other games we want to talk about?
Well, yeah, before we move on, it's just like more of like a preview for the next game, but I sit there and I think like Dallas can do this to San Francisco, but San Francisco and Tampa Bay are like not even remotely close to the same team. It's like night and day between like how
Yeah,
good they are.
I'm definitely going to be curious to see how Dallas performs against that team.
They got to bottle up whatever they did in Tampa. I mean, I don't know that they can play that well. Well,
This will be one of the toughest defenses that Purdy's had to face so far.
That's
maybe
also
maybe
true.
the toughest.
That's very true.
And he hasn't really looked like a rookie yet, so that's definitely something to keep in mind.
if I'm them, I'm selling out to stop McCaffrey. I'm making him beat me. Like you just can't. You cannot let them just get like 6 yards of carry.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And I mean, I think big game from George Kittle, but I mean,
You love that.
that's what's going to happen if they sell out to stop McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But how can you sell out to stop McCaffrey, bro? You sell out to block the run, then he just comes out of the backfield and gets a
Catches
screen
it,
pass,
yeah.
like, and burns you for 15 yards every play. Like, I don't understand how you mock up a defensive game plan against that offense.
Honestly, Dan Quinn, terrible head coach, top 2
really
defensive coordinator.
good at defensive.
Yeah.
He's a very good defensive coordinator. I
So,
think he knows what he's good at now.
Yeah, and this is a good defensive game. This is a game that could hit an over, and this is a game that could be both teams not even scoring 20. They both are big on their run games. They're both centered around their defense. This
one
could be in
smells
the
like
30s. It could be in the teens.
Smells like a 24-20 kind of game.
Dan Quinn.
This could be 17-13. It wouldn't surprise me.
Dan Quinn, former Kyle Shanahan defensive coordinator.
Oh.
in Atlanta.
He was a head coach.
For the 20-3.
What about Kyle Shanahan? He went to Thailand. He took a one-way ticket to Thailand with his girlfriend.
Yeah, Cliff.
Oh, Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff.
I mixed him up every time. But how about Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, he'll be coaching college somewhere next year.
You don't think he comes back to the NFL, dude?
Why
I don't
rush it? Give me a year. I'm gonna hang out there. I'm gonna have a great
Well, yeah,
time.
he's got the money.
He's got.
He's
the
a
check hits.
very attractive girlfriend.
Yeah,
he has a very
The
attractive
check
girlfriend.
hits every 2 weeks, and his very nice girlfriend lives there. So if I was him,
She lives in Thailand.
well, like they live together in Thailand. So
Oh.
like,
Yeah, I don't think
got
they
a
live
home
there, but
Jesus.
I think that they just are staying
Antonio,
there.
when you're making
No, I know.
NFL head coach money, you can live wherever you
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah, they probably have a nice little spot out there.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like Andy Reid doesn't. No way he's got a house
Andy
in the
Reid
country.
has a
He just goes.
house right next to Burger King.
That's what I mean.
where Andy Reid.
But
Andy
Andy
Reid
Reid's
is
not
just
the
gonna go
type to go
home.
to Thailand. I bet
I
if
know.
he wanted to,
That's what
he
I mean.
could.
He's just gonna go home, eat, and plan for next season. That's what he does.
Yeah, but Cliff Kingsbury is not Andy Reid.
Yeah, he's actually a young go-getter, not a old
Go-getter.
75-year-old hamburger eater that loves
Oh,
Patrick
Andy
Mahomes.
Reid is a go-getter though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he could easily get an offensive coordinator job somewhere.
Yeah, maybe on a shitty team.
Who, Andy Reid?
Yeah, Andy Reid. Yeah. No, but Cliff Kingsbury, I don't think he goes back to college, bro.
That
don't
just
think
seems
he-
like
Because he wasn't really good in college.
I don't think he would want to do that.
that just seems like a downgrade, and that's like what you're gonna go like 6-6 next year.
I think
in
he's got to
college?
do some soul searching. I just think he's not meant to be a head coach. He's like Josh McDaniels. Like they're just not meant to be head coaches. They just don't have it.
unless Tom Brady's on the team.
Okay, if Tom Brady's on the team,
I'm
it
joking.
doesn't
I'm
change
joking.
much.
I mean-
Todd Bowles couldn't do anything.
No, I know.
Todd Bowles is bad. He's
Well-
one that needs to realize that he's not a coach.
He sits there and just
He
like
do you see his mouth move
I was
ever?
gonna say, flies go in and out of his mouth the entire
He's a-
game.
He's standing there.
And he doesn't move the piece of paper from it like being right here.
Does he call the defense? Do we know that?
I mean,
He
he
did.
did.
Last year he did.
No, obviously, but I don't know if he does with the head coach. That might just be too much for him. I'm not saying like he's not capable, but maybe it's just like he can't manage the game and call the defense and like try to play.
Can't
both
handle the
sides.
heat, huh?
Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, maybe it's just like a Belichick situation where he just didn't want to let go of the defense, and
Yeah.
he just has way too much on his plate.
It could be. The Chargers game Saturday night. I know we talked a little bit about it, but like
So awesome.
You said last week on the podcast the Chargers are not a Charger, and the fact that they chargered is just very Charger.
And I almost picked them.
It's funny how that's just how
yeah,
they...
I was so close
it's
to
like,
picking them.
and that's when we talked about it. We both were like, all three of us really were like, I really should take the Chargers here. Like, the Chargers are a better team. The Chargers should win this game. But I can't say those words.
The faith in our hearts were
lacking, and it was right.
Yeah.
I mean, what a comeback. 27-0?
27-0.
I couldn't be on, I could not have been on the other side of that one. Like, if I had the Chargers and the Jaguars came back, there would be
After
a hole
Trevor
for my
Lawrence
TV.
throws 4 interceptions in the first half. Like,
Well, it's more likely in my mind at that point that he gets pulled than they come back.
I
and
know.
win.
That's what I was
thinking. I'm
saying.
like, is he going to try? I didn't think he was going to try and pull him. I'm like, what's the point?
Right. Well, I never really thought he would get pulled, but like if he pulled or if he had like a 5th pick or something, like then it's like
Right. In my head, after that 4th interception, it's like right at the end of the first quarter. I'm thinking to myself, I hope Peterson just pulls Trevor to the side on the sideline and says, listen, the only good thing about this is there's 3 quarters of football left. Let's make history.
he got it out of the way too early.
Yeah.
Dude,
like-
the first pass of the game, I was like, no.
He
Yeah,
gave
dude.
himself a
Way.
huge buffer period. He was like, all right, I'll spot you a
He
quarter.
bought himself some time. He was like, I got all these out of the way now. Now I have like 3 more quarters to try and build this back. And of course, the Chargers just could never put them away. Like, that's just what it is.
Well, they had a lot of like 3rd and 1s or
They kicked
3rd
2
and
field goals
4s.
inside the 10 also.
Yeah, that's typical Staley because he'll go for it.
That's what I mean.
He'll
Normally
go for it. He'll go for it against the Cleveland Browns in the regular season. Then it comes to the postseason, and now he's like,
It is insane.
He's normally known for being too aggressive.
yeah. Now he wants to be too conservative. It's like you're going away when it matters the most. Like,
He's got to be fired. I don't know how it hasn't happened yet.
so here's the theory that I heard today that I like.
Yeah, here we go.
They don't want to fire him, and not because of the $4 million. They owe him $4 million if they end up firing him. They don't want to fire him because that immediately opens the door for everyone to scream Sean Payton, Sean Payton, Sean Payton, and they don't want to turn the keys over to Sean Payton and give him almost $100 million. So they have to keep Staley because as soon as they fire Staley, the expectation is Sean Payton.
So they're just gonna wait out and see where Sean Payton
So
goes.
they might wait out Sean Payton. I don't think they fire him. I think they give him one more year and then they fire him.
Just think it's a mistake, bro.
I guess I get it on their end because if you really don't want to pay a coach like $12 million a year, like you just got to keep the one that you have, even though he kind of sucks.
I have a problem with that because, like, who gives a fuck? So
Well,
what
it's
if
like
they're just crying about Sean Payton? It doesn't mean they have to take Sean Payton.
But it's like if you're in their like situation and you have Justin Herbert, how do you not get the best offensive line out there?
But like, if you don't want to hire Sean Payton, you don't have to.
But it makes all the sense in the world too. I get what you're saying, but it makes all of the sense in the world to
But
hire Sean Payton.
but what you're saying, it makes sense. Like, they don't want to pay him the $100 million. It's like, that's a perfectly good reason not to hire somebody.
I can't see Sean Payton with a lightning bolt in his hat. Not that franchise.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, they're too sorry.
But so are the Saints.
The Saints became sorry though after Drew Brees left.
Well, no, I'm saying before Sean Payton got there, they were a sorry franchise.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
That is true.
Maybe he just turned sorry franchises around.
I just hope not that one. Because who cares about them?
If he goes to Denver, then you're all in on Denver. I know that's the second time I brought up
yeah.
Denver, but if he goes there, you're like, your chips are down.
Well, it's even like Justin Herbert. I'm like, I wish you played.
he is the tallest boner. If
Yeah,
Sean Payton.
you have the tallest boner if Russell Wilson goes there. Or I mean, if Sean Payton goes there. Russell
Yeah,
Wilson's
they're in the
bad,
division.
dude. Russell Wilson is so bad.
I don't know. I do think he does better next year because I mean, it's only up from here. I think, but I don't think he does anything spectacular. But
the Jaguars. So when I'm watching that first quarter, and by the time he throws his second or third interception, I'm like, dude, I'm watching Trevor Lawrence's first playoff start, and like this is the kind of thing that can ruin a quarterback in the playoffs if you have a start like that. Your first start being like that, from that moment on, if you lose that game, the next time Trevor Lawrence starts a playoff game, he sucks in the playoffs. Just after that one game, it's like, oh, well, he threw a bunch of picks
Kinda
the
what
first
happened to
time. He's just
Lamar
going to
a
fall
little
under
bit.
pressure. That's so big for him coming back in the game. So big.
Trevor Lawrence yet to lose on Saturdays.
Yeah.
that's interesting. I mean, it just proves how much of a competitor he is. Because I mean, it's so easy just to fold after like throwing 4 touchdowns. You're like, God, I just threw 4 interceptions. We're down 27-0. Like, just chalk this game. But he was like, no, let's just keep going out. Let's keep slinging it. Like, I think
Etienne had
I
some
think it
big runs,
proves
too.
it proves to not only the coaching, but at the same time, Trevor Lawrence is a hell of a competitor to go out there and keep slinging it after throwing 4 interceptions. Because he's probably like, well, we have nothing to lose now.
Yeah, at this
He's like,
point.
if I throw 4 or 8, it really doesn't matter.
I wanted him to match his interception total with a touchdown so bad, and he did.
Yeah, 4 for 4.
Wendy's after that.
Yeah,
You have to. No, they went to Waffle House.
No, Waffle House.
Yeah.
I saw that, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't tried
Swag.
Waffle House. I really want to get Waffle House at some point in my life.
I want to try it so bad.
Yeah.
People down there say it's like not anything like.
No, but it's just like.
It's just like a
but
fun
to us
place.
though, like southern food is just so
That's
much
like an
better.
In-N-Out
That's what I
for
mean.
us.
Southern
Yeah.
chains are like they're so good, and I want to go to them all. Like Bojangles, dude. You ever get chicken from Bojangles?
Yeah, or what's the Whataburger?
Well, yeah, that's Texas. I've never been there, but that shit's really good.
Yeah,
I've
In and Out.
heard.
Popeyes.
In-N-Out's good.
So bad.
Like we just have all the generic ones that
Popeyes.
people like are like.
Popeyes is.
Like we don't have that. Like, do we have that up here? Do we have some? I mean, Dunkin' kind
What,
of,
like
but
an
like
exclusive regional
Oh,
thing?
Yeah.
Dunkin' would be ours for sure.
But-
That's so
but
bad.
There's still dude. There's still Dunkin' down south.
yeah.
Dunkin' out west.
yeah, but
There's Dunkin's out
barely.
west?
Yeah, there are.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Oh, geez.
They're just barely.
We don't
They're
have an
barely out
exclusive. We're just like we're the Northeast. We're just so corporate, like America zone that like we don't have.
Yeah, we
cool
need
shit
like a
that.
really good regional chain to flip the tide.
Like, why can't we have that? Everywhere, West has got it. The Midwest has got it. The South has got
South
it.
definitely
the
has
fuck
it.
are we?
I don't know. What other games do we want to talk about? Or which other game? I mean, the Buffalo game.
Well, talk about your team real quick. Your team looked amazing.
Yeah, that was the least stressful Giants playoff game I have.
You were worried for
Ever-
one possession when it was 7-0 Vikings.
Dude, after I just watched their offense, like that one play, it's like their defense is so bad.
And the
Minnesota's
Vi-
defense
yo,
is
so
awful.
bad.
the Vikings looked so good after that first drive.
Yeah.
That was like the best drive I've ever seen. I was like, wow, this
I
could
didn't
be.
care though, because it was like not a lot of time came off the clock. They scored relatively quick.
Yeah, but at
Whatever.
the same time, like I mean, you're looking at it through a Giants fan, but me just looking at it as a fan, I was like, whoa, wow, like the Vikings came to play today. But I mean, then they just.
I don't know what it was, because normally in those situations as a Giants fan, you're so nervous, but like there was just something about
Because
going.
you looked across and saw Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, something about going, and he played fine. He put up his numbers.
He
and
really
everything
didn't.
Like that.
He really did not play a bad game.
Yeah,
It was just
it
that last.
definitely wasn't
that last
a
play
Kirk
where he threw a
Cousins.
3-yard pass. But
No,
I mean,
it was the defense. I would put the
Dude.
85% of that team was on the defense.
now like Saquon didn't have like a huge game in terms of numbers, but every time he touched the ball, he
was
did something
meaningful,
great, and he was
yeah.
so explosive. And it's like it's like there was a magnet in his helmet, and every time he ran, the Vikings players were just running away from him. Like
Yeah,
he was
they
a
just
fucking
did not
repeller.
want to tackle him. I wouldn't want to tackle him either.
They were running away
He's a
from
freight.
him.
He's
They
a
were-
freight train, bro.
And the other thing is that this year he's cut away with like all the. He still dances around quite a bit and will like put on some moves, but not like years before where he was getting hurt. He would dance too much and then he would get stopped for like 1 or 2
Yeah, now
yards.
he's just
no
running
game.
through people.
He's an aggressive runner this year, and you saw that. When he's at the goal line now, he doesn't try to bounce around guys. He just runs in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good to see. Offense looked so awesome.
Now you just had that whole soliloquy, and there was no mention of Daniel Jones.
Oh, I was
I'm
gonna
I'm a little disappointed.
Well, because I was going to let somebody else talk. But, yeah, I was going to say up until Dak Prescott on Monday night, that was easily the best game played by a quarterback all weekend. Even just the way you talk about the running game, but the way he even stood in the pocket when it started to break down. He made some throws under pressure that were really impressive. He just looked so calm. You didn't see those nervous feet that you would see from him years ago.
The Kirk Cousins happy feet.
That's what I mean. He would, if it wasn't there, the 1 or 2 option, then he's like, all right, I'm going to take 2-3 yards and run.
You ready for this one? True or false? Daniel Jones is the best quarterback in the NFC
That's left?
in the whole conference.
You can't say that now. Give me next year him with some receivers. Maybe there's an argument.
It's just
Listen,
it's just a question.
he's right. The way I
False.
see it, he's brought himself into the bottom of the top 10. Maybe a season where he's got some good weapons. Maybe he can inch himself into the top 5. I don't know.
Now,
NFC, let me think.
I would say Jalen Hurts.
Well, yeah, because like I think to myself, even Tom Brady in that position this year, he's not. I don't think he would have been athletic
Correct.
enough. He
Well,
wouldn't have been athletic enough to overcome.
It would have been a
the
different offense,
yeah.
but he would have had terrible receivers and he would have been pissed all season.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird in the NFC. Like all like the really good quarterbacks are in the bad situation teams.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Justin Fields, like we haven't really gotten to see his like arm talent very much, like just because he has no one to throw to.
But like, name me the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFC.
I mean, Jalen Hurts,
Daniel Jones,
Dak.
no.
At this point, I'd much rather have Daniel.
Career
Jones than
stats, Dak is probably
Dak.
better.
Dak.
Career stats, he's probably better than
Well, yeah,
Daniel
definitely.
Jones.
But the Giants have also like done everything in their power since they've drafted Daniel Jones to ruin a quarterback. Horrible offensive lines,
No weapons.
horrible receiving cores every year, and bad coaching.
He's
That's a
fought through
recipe
it.
to run a quarterback into the ground.
Yeah, he's fought through it. All they needed was a really good coach in there. That's all
And
they really
the
needed.
city on his ass half the time too, saying, "Get this guy out of here."
Mm-hmm.
Playing for the Giants is not easy. Comes with the job description, that's for sure.
And you see, these things seem to always work out a little better when it's the Giants and not the Jets. Look at the Jets and their quarterback situation, how they handle things. The dysfunctional one.
I do think the Jets will eventually catch up, not like to where the point they're like consistently making the
They're in a
playoffs,
weird
but
spot.
they have the good coach, they have the receivers, they have the talent. They
If they
just
have a
need
competent
a
quarterback next year, they're in the playoffs.
They need
I
a
was just gonna
competent
say, is
quarterback.
that the Lamar team or no?
Would
They're the
Lamar
favorite.
want to go there though? That's my whole thing. I think he could. I think if he did, they'd be probably a playoff
Well,
team.
the only thing unattractive about a player like that going to the Jets right now is
they're
just
the
that they're the
Jets.
Jets. Other than that, their roster's so good. Their defense is
yeah, and it's only going to get
easily a
better.
top 7 unit in the NFL. Probably a top 5 one next year with a little more age. They have good weapons. Brees Hall is going to come back next year. He looked awesome this year as long as ACL didn't ruin his life.
If they were any team but he's right. If they were any team but the New York Jets, it would be like, oh, Lamar going there.
It's
wow.
something about that
Yeah.
green man. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he will.
They'll get a competent quarterback in there for next year. I'm sure.
I
of it.
think the most likely
There's
option
so much-
is Derek Carr.
I think
he's
so
the
too.
most likely option.
There's so
Oh,
much.
that's just such a like blah.
It is, but that's such a Jets thing to do.
But there's so much
But I do
pressure.
think he'd do well there. That's the thing.
He would do like 16th best quarterback in the league. That's what he would
But
do.
that's all they
But
need.
that
But
would
that
be
would
fine.
be but that would be life changing for them.
That would be so much better for them. They just need
They had the
someone.
worst one in the league, and they were 6-1 at one point.
I mean, besides this year, Derek Carr really doesn't really turn the ball over very often. Like he's usually pretty competent. Like this year, obviously, he was probably slinging it more because they were like, "Ooh, Devontae Adams." Like we have to just keep throwing it. But if you get him in there with a really good offensive scheme, like, and you're not having him sling the ball 50 times, you just run the ball. You have good running backs. They're coming back. They got good receivers. I really do think he'd be fine.
that team is definitely a playoff team if they have a competent quarterback. 100%.
Yeah, just think
next
they were
year.
one game away from making the playoffs.
Right.
Technically, like they could have easily made the playoffs.
ne-
They didn't have a shit
I think
quarterback.
there's way too much pressure on the Jets this offseason to make that move as well. So they have to because they know their fans are pissed, and their fans know they have a good team now.
What about if Jimmy
Especially
goes
with the
there?
Giants on the other side having that kind of year.
Is Jimmy kind of like on the same level that Derek Carr would be if he went there?
Oh,
I
I kind of like Derek Carr better in that.
I do like Derek
situation.
Carr better in that situation because I also think
Yeah, I think
Jimmy
so too.
Garoppolo is.
I don't think Jimmy would want to go there.
I think it would be one of those where it was like they really like him at first. They're like, oh yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo was solid, and then they like really see him start playing.
He's
and
He
gotta
they're
be
plays
with the
like
right-
2 or
he's-
3 bad games in a row, and
Yeah.
they're instantly like get him out.
He's got to be with the right coach though, and the right like offensive.
Salah
scheme
might
and
be the right
coordinator.
coach.
You think
though.
so?
They played in San Francisco together. He knows.
Did
him.
they? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So not played, but
Coached.
he was
Yeah,
the
coach.
He was the D coordinator.
Yeah, and
but-
Salah. That's another thing. He went from up here in the beginning of the year, and when the team started to dip, he dipped.
He's a really bad in-game coach. He doesn't know when to call timeouts. He doesn't know when to throw the challenge flag. Like he loves throwing challenge flags on like spot plays. Like if it's like no, I swear, I think I saw 2 or 3 this year where it's like 2nd and 1, and he'll challenge that they got the first down. It's
So
like
yeah, just go up and run it.
literally.
Yeah, you can't get that twice. You
Yeah,
can't get
and-
that 2 times.
Also,
Well,
when
it's the Jets' offense, so maybe he was like, okay.
yeah, but at the same
No, I
time, if
know,
he's
I
not
know.
throwing the challenge when he should, like that's a different story.
absolutely, and also when you have your second-year quarterback that was the number 2 overall pick that you want desperately to be your future, how do you let your guys walk around in Mike White we trust shirts?
Yeah.
Like how does that make Zach? How do you think that's gonna make Zach?
And I
Wilson?
think his constant backing of Zach Wilson was really bad too.
It's the ownership. That's what it has to be.
Yeah.
He has to be a puppet for them.
Yeah.
His handling of the Zach Wilson thing, it wasn't the worst way that you can handle a quarterback situation because half of
wouldn't
that
have brought him
crap
back
is
in.
Zach Wilson, but he didn't handle it in the best way. I don't
I
think.
mean, I guess they really didn't have a choice, but I would have played Flacco when Mike White went down. I wouldn't have played Zach
Right.
Wilson again.
My thing is just that when the team dipped, the fire wasn't there anymore. When the Giants dipped this year, Dable's fire didn't go anywhere. So he definitely deserves. He's going to get another year in New York to get a shot. So
All right, are we moving on?
So Saturday, 4:30, Trevor Lawrence plus 8.5 at Kansas City. Over/under is 53.
Is this where they poop, or is this they keep going?
theoretically, this should be no chance for the Jags. So it's a year too early for them to be competing with a team like the Chiefs. But the Jags have a pretty physical defense. They're a physical team in general. The way they run the ball.
Here's my dilemma.
Their defense is definitely better than the Chiefs, but
Yeah. Here's my dilemma is I know Kansas City's going to win this game.
yeah,
But is Jacksonville going to cover that spread?
I don't think so.
I said that. No, I don't.
Because there's no way Jacksonville makes it to the AFC Championship, right?
Well, I said either if they're winning and covering the 8.5, or they're getting blown out. I don't think that this is one of those like close. And
I think
know
it's
you
very.
disagree.
I agree with that.
Oh, I thought you said Monday you disagreed with that.
Well, I don't think there's any realm of any universe where they win this game. That's my whole
I
thing.
think it's more likely than people want to think it is. Just like
I think so too.
I think like this team really thinks they're walking on water right now.
Now you got Doug
That's
Peterson.
that's
Doug
what I think
Peterson
the
against
problem
Is
Yeah.
well that can go one of two ways. That can be either be an extreme problem and you're way too high on yourself and you lose 35-0.
You just get punched in the mouth.
But it could be like the opening drive and they go for it on fourth down twice and then they score a touchdown and then Kansas City's like, oh, like
They are going to have to be very aggressive on fourth
So
down.
between these two games on Saturday, you would say the Giants have a better chance at winning their game rather than
Yeah.
okay. So I don't.
yes.
I think the smart pick is. I really think the smart pick is to take Kansas City with the points, but I don't know, man. I don't know. You got Doug Peterson going up against his old running mate.
Well, when does Kansas City ever cover big spreads too? This is all we talk about during
That
the
is
regular
very
season.
true. That is very true. But at the same time,
But when you say-
Jacksonville,
Yeah,
they let the Chargers get 27 points, like off of their mistakes. But at the same time, the Chargers were moving the ball in that first half. The Chiefs are a different animal. They're a different animal. Now, I think maybe their defense probably is what holds them back. It's always what holds them back.
I think it's a little less reliable this year than it has
But
been.
like
in the
you
past,
said, I
though.
think they're a year away. I think they're a year away. They get punched in the mouth.
That's
I think
what I
in
mean.
this
They
game.
will be competing with this team soon to come. I just don't think it's this year.
Yeah.
So I'm
I'll
put
be-
it in stone. I'm gonna.
It's
going
to be a good test for them, I think. So we'll see. I do love this coaching matchup, though. Talk to me, Sal.
I'm taking the Jags to win.
It's
To win.
To win.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Shock the world.
That sounds nuts.
Not really nuts because everybody's going to be talking about, oh, what's going to happen with this Chiefs, AFC Championship thing with the neutral field and anything. What if it doesn't have a chance to
I
happen?
think it just has to happen.
I just think the great equalizer in this game is you do not know what Doug Peterson is cooking up in his little realm of the world. Like he could do anything at any point.
Him and
in this
Andy are
game.
just going to be trading blows. The camera's just going to go from like one side, guy, him and his visor deep in his playbook. Andy's like, oh, stomach.
Well,
menu.
if it's a back and forth, game like that, I honestly trust Jacksonville slightly more. And you're gonna say that makes no sense. They have Patrick Mahomes on the other side. I don't think Kansas City can get a stop. I think Jacksonville at some point can get a stop.
Also, when is Andy Reid going to lose off a bye? That's going to happen at some point in his career, huh?
No, I don't.
What
think
is he
it's
like,
gonna happen.
15-0? No, he's not. He's not undefeated off
He's
a bye.
never, ever lost off a bye.
Ever.
Ever.
No way.
Are you trolling or are you just saying
That's
that?
what they said on the radio today. I don't know.
No, there's no way.
Well, here's another thing, too. It's like Jacksonville barely beat Tennessee to even win the division.
Either way, he's the best off a bye.
Jacksonville put themselves in a deep hole against the Chargers. Both of those times they were at home in good weather.
He's 27-4 off a bye.
Yeah, I mean their
Oh my-
team
He's
is
the best
insane, Sal. You give them enough time
Does
to
he
prep.
hibernate? Dude?
Yeah, no, he hibernates and makes a plan, dude. No, I think they haven't had to deal with these elements either in a while, like probably like a month. I don't know when the last time they probably played in a cold environment
No, yeah,
was.
you're right.
They barely beat Tennessee on their home field. They put themselves in a deep hole against the Chargers on their home field. Now you got to tell me they're going to go to Arrowhead and beat Kansas City? I don't think so. I think that's way too big of a jump. I'm taking Kansas City in the points.
It's probably the right pick. I don't know what's making me say Jacksonville. I just have like a weird feeling.
Maybe
It'd
it's
be
not
insane.
maybe it's not
It'd be
a blowout,
insane
though,
if
and they win
Jacksonville
by
won.
like 13. 13
I would
not a
love
blowout.
Jacksonville to win. It'd be insane. That'd be insane.
I don't know. Something's telling me like it's not Kansas City. Like I don't know what it like. Something inside of me is just like it's not Kansas City.
What? So, wait, did they lay this out? So, okay, say Jacksonville does win,
Yeah.
and then Buffalo wins. Would that game be at home for Buffalo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I onto something there?
What if Jacksonville kicks
No.
their fucking ass, dude? Like,
Oh,
what,
if
what
it's
if they
Buffalo-
just beat them
No,
down?
if it's Buffalo, Jacksonville.
No, I mean Jacksonville Chiefs. Like, what if
Oh,
the
what if
Chiefs?
Jacks-
Yeah, what if the Chiefs are just like? Could you imagine that? The Chiefs just come out the flattest you could possibly imagine.
I think we're getting a little too horny on Jacksonville, dude. I really do.
Yeah. I want to see it
Well, you picked Kansas
Well,
City,
no,
didn't you?
because they can't come.
because
No,
that's a smart pick.
Antonio. They couldn't come out too horny against Kansas City because if it was like 21-0, Patrick Mahomes would score 3 touchdowns.
Oh, that's
in
very
9
true.
seconds, like literally in 9 seconds. So
Yeah.
they have to like kind of like go back and forth for a little bit. I don't know what it is. I'm calling my shot here. I'm taking Jacksonville. I'm taking the upset.
That's
All right.
cool. That's a cool pick.
Thank you.
Next game, New York Giants at Philadelphia. Philadelphia is -7.5. Over/unders 48.
Is
What do we think?
Jalen still hurt?
Well, that is a huge question.
If his shoulder's not 100%, he will not be running the ball
Correct.
as much,
Correct.
and that changes everything.
Well, I think no matter how hurt or unhurt he is, they're going to call 10, 12 running plays for him. Like, as much as
have
they
to.
probably want to protect him, you need to in order to win the
It's
game.
such a big part of their offense. They have to.
Yeah. I have mixed emotions about this game. The Giants looked like the best team in the world last week.
But going from the Vikings defense to the Eagles defense
is a huge jump.
so different.
The under in this game is entirely free. Like, there is no way there's a lot of points in this
Yeah,
game.
that's what I mean. I was going to say, it seems like the Giants have kind of gotten themselves to a point this year where they can play in multiple styles of football games. Last week, they just showed that they can get in an offensive shootout. They, dropped 40 again in the last month. And they've played in plenty of low-scoring games this
This
year.
week, it's like 17-10. I'm leaning...
Yeah,
I'm,
it's a classic NFC East
yeah,
type of thing.
I'm leaning towards taking this... Is it 7.5? Is that what I said?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's that's what I have on CBS.
I think that's a good line.
I think with the hook, you gotta take the Giants. It's just like who's taking the Eagles this week. I don't know anyone that's.
I
like,
know that's a tough
I mean, the
one.
other thing too is like I feel like the Eagles like limped into the playoffs, whereas the Giants kind of stayed steady. But
Well, think about this too. The Giants had like not a warm up game, but they had a game last week. It's like how do the Eagles go from like resting guys to like okay now you got to get in there and it's
Yeah,
like,
one of the
I think
former.
it's the inverse of Kansas City having a week off.
Absolutely.
I think it hurts Philly. I think, but they limped in.
yeah
I feel like if they had to play last week, they would have lost.
yeah.
Like given how Jalen Hurts is hurt still, but like I mean, it just depends on how serious it is. I guess were they just resting him those weeks that he was out? Like was it really not that bad, or like we don't even know really, do we? They haven't come out and said anything.
No, I forgot who it was that said it on ESPN, but one of the former NFL players that was on there on like Get Up or something, he mentioned that like he said 4 or 5 times in his career when he had a first round bye, he lost.
Mm-hmm.
Teams lose steam sometimes, and when you catch a team that's got steam, it's tough. This game's going to be so interesting.
I'm gonna be
Really,
I'm gonna
really,
be
really
I'm gonna be like
interesting.
Sal here, bro. I think the Giants win this game.
I hope so.
Wow.
I
I
mean,
do.
obviously, I'm picking the Giants.
I mean, I think it's the writing's on the wall for the Giants to win here.
Dude,
and,
Philadelphia is going to be fucking nuts. On a
They would burn.
Dude,
They would burn it to the
these
ground.
people don't have to work the next day either. They have all Friday and all Saturday to get fucking mopped.
I think Friday night the tailgate starts for that game.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean. They
Yeah.
got
Philly fans are
24
a
hours
different
to get
animal, man.
mopped, and they have to do shit on Sunday.
And if they lose, oh, that city's getting burnt to the
I
ground.
heard something that once upon a time they banned NFC East games in Philly, or like I don't know, or maybe Giants and Philly games from happening like later than 4:00
Really?
for a certain amount of time.
Because they probably get
Because
so
of Philly
nuts,
fans.
dude.
Yeah.
Philly's a different animal when it comes to their sports.
But the Giants, these teams fans travel very well between those two stadiums. They're just going up and down the Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, people think New York and Boston fans are wild, bro. Philly is just
Philly's
like,
got the craziest.
Antonio, just because you said all that, I'm taking Philly -7.5. I'm not taking the points anymore.
Oh, what with the fans?
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you know what you know what mental image just came in my head?
There will be fans leaving bloody.
Daniel Jones running down the field and tripping at Eagle Stadium, because that was Eagle Stadium, right?
well, that trip game that he had, was it?
Yeah.
Lincoln Memorial. Is
Yeah.
it Lincoln Memorial Stadium?
Lincoln Financial or whatever.
Lincoln
Link.
Financial, yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking. I don't. When he said that, I just pictured Daniel Jones running straight down the field and then just falling over himself and hitting his head on the ground.
There will be people driving home bloody. that
I
day.
definitely like the Eagles to win the game. 7.5 is just like such a big number.
Yeah, I think it's way too big of a number for the Giants to not cover the spread. And I do think they win. I mean, if Kansas City comes out and blows Jacksonville out, I'm
You
putting
have
my
to take
home on the
Yeah,
Giants.
you have to take Giants.
Putting my
though.
home on the
Yeah,
Giants.
Yeah. No, that's a good strategy. Sunday at 3 p.m. we have the game of the weekend. I would assume Cincinnati at Buffalo. Cincinnati's a 5-point dog. Over unders 48.5. I like the Bills here.
I mean, how is this not the late game? Is it because the other one's a West Coast game?
I don't know.
It's got to be.
It's got to be the reason
the
why.
fucking Cowboys. So
Like, just the whole story with this game, how we didn't get to see it,
Yep.
the DeMar Hamlin thing.
Yep.
It's gonna be in Buffalo. It's gonna be rowdy. I mean, what don't you like about this game?
I think
this is gonna be the greatest football game ever.
this could be Bills by 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think this.
I
What
want
is
to
it?
see
5.5?
I want to see the most exciting game, but honestly,
I think 5.5 is a lot.
I have 5, but yeah, 5. That's a lot of points. I think
Since he's been playing well.
I think Bengals money line has great value on it, but it's not Cincinnati's year. This is Buffalo's at least.
yeah,
They're
I
getting.
mean,
I can almost assuredly tell you they're getting one more round. I think they're getting to the Super Bowl though.
now, Cincinnati might be getting one of their offensive linemen back this weekend. I'm not 100%
Kappa?
sure. Kappa, yeah, that's right. I'm not 100% sure, but apparently it's trending toward that way. That's one of their starters back out of 2 that they were missing. I don't know. We just haven't really seen Burrow look, in a playoff game yet. And this is a situation where
I could argue he looked
last week,
but
not the greatest, but I mean, still didn't.
Yeah, he still did his job.
Yeah, he didn't really play that bad, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I can maybe see him throwing a couple picks this weekend in
but
Buffalo.
Josh Allen didn't look that good last week either.
No, he
That's
didn't.
fair.
So,
Cincinnati's defense is for real. I watched them, and I'm like,
They don't get they don't get talked about a lot. They
yeah,
don't get
I
enough
watched
credit.
them, and I'm like,
They're clutch. They have a very clutch defense.
yeah, I don't believe in them for some reason, and then they just keep making plays, and you're like, fuck.
I mean, last year, their whole run to the Super Bowl, nobody talked about their defense.
Oh, it's all Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, but it's like, yeah, their defense is making play after play.
Like,
The
you have
defense
to,
is
you have to have a
yeah.
good defense to get this far.
Except for Eli Apple, but that goes without saying.
Yeah, he's a dumpster.
he's
but,
a burger.
But
They get stops in the red zone.
he's slow.
Turnovers.
his feet get caught in the cement.
Are we
sometimes.
all going Buffalo here?
I'm taking the Bills spread.
Yeah.
I'll be the
feel
lonely island
feel
to
like
take
it's their-
to
it's
take
their
Cincy to
AFC
cover
year.
that 5.
I really
I think
do.
this is a field goal at the end of the game
All
type
right.
shit.
You guys know about teasers, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is the teaser not teasing the Giants up to 13.5 and teasing the Bills to -1, or I mean +1?
Oh wow.
So the Bills have to win, and you're getting almost 2 touchdowns with the Giants.
I think that's a great play. How much do you get on that? What kind of odds you get on that?
-125, -130.
That's pretty good.
That seems pretty easy
Really
to
good
me.
value.
Well, not easy. Like the Bills can easily lose to the
Teaser,
Bengals,
yeah,
but-
teasers can be tricky sometimes because it's so enticing because you're like, oh, both these things are so free, but at the same time, like sometimes
Then
just
the Eagles
betting
score-
one game,
Yeah, or
getting the
then
same money.
Yeah, then the Eagles score 2 touchdowns and it's 14-0, and you're like, great, those points were worthless.
you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I do like that though, Sal. I like that a lot.
Last game. Personally, my favorite game of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
49ers minus 3.5 at home against the Cowboys. Over-under is 46. Anyone want to go first?
This might be the year where Dallas finally makes a little bit of noise in the playoffs. Not Super Bowl, but
This could be their first NFC championship since the catch that never happened.
I don't think that was an NFC championship game.
I think it was.
No, that was a divisional round.
I don't know if
Was
they.
it?
Yeah.
I don't know
I thought
if
it was
been
a
to
Packers and Dallas. I thought it
Packers
was
and
whatever.
That was divisional. Yeah, I don't think they've been to an NFC championship since like the 90s. I'm pretty sure.
I kind of like that.
I'm really intrigued by this possibility of having an NFC championship game, especially after the way the season went this year. I mean, I can just see
I think
it.
this is the first time 3 teams from the same division are in the divisional round. I think.
That could
I
be
think
correct.
I saw that somewhere.
Because either Giants or Eagles, Cowboys in the NFC Championship would be something crazy,
Mhm.
and that would get a lot of press. Also with the Giants too, if they knock out the Eagles, which already beat them twice this year, they will play Dallas, and they already lost to Dallas twice this year. So there's another little storyline.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do like Dallas here. They've been, like I said, every time I watch them play, they score over 30 points.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to beat in the playoffs,
But this
especially.
could be a highly defensive game as well, though.
That is true.
They're
That is very true.
physical when it comes to the running game on both sides, and their defenses are 2 of the top 3 units in the entire NFC.
And it's hard not to ignore the fact that Dak Prescott has been bitten by the interception bug. I mean, he didn't throw any in the Bucs game,
Right.
but
This
the
defense
Bucs
is a
really
little better.
didn't. Yeah, the Bucs really didn't do anything to force him to throw an interception. So it could be a different story this weekend. It's hard not to ignore that, but I'm gonna ignore it, and I like Dallas +4,
I do too. These teams have,
and they easily could win.
it's another historic matchup. I mean, the 49ers have so many historic rivalries in the playoffs, whether it be the Cowboys, the Giants, Green Bay. This is just one of them, and they always play awesome games.
These are some big numbers
These
for
are
divisional round.
Yeah,
For like these,
every
these
game is
spreads.
awesome, and I'm really excited for all of them. Yeah, I like the Cowboys. I like the Cowboys to cover and maybe possibly win.
I hate to sound like an echo chamber, but I love the Cowboys on Sunday. I think
We all like the Cowboys.
yeah, that's not good. I think that
No, that's good. I
I-
want them to die.
I think it has to be an NFC East.
Me too.
NFC Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the fact that Dallas is the only team in that game, it's like, okay, they're definitely getting there.
Mhm.
It's just who are they playing? Are they playing the Giants or are they playing the Eagles?
Especially
I think they're playing the Eagles for sure. I think it's
I
Eagles,
mean,
Cowboys
Dallas
next
Eagles.
weekend.
Yeah, Dallas
Nuts.
Eagles would be
Yeah.
an insane NFC
Yeah.
Championship game, man.
I really do. I really think I really, really, really think it's Dallas Eagles because they had been talking so much junk before the last game, and that was one of the games of the season. I think we got a repeat of it, and we got and this is really why I like it. We got the first game where there was no Dak Prescott. We got the second game there was no Jalen Hurts. We're gonna get the 3-peat, and it's gonna be both starting quarterbacks playing. I like Dallas. I like Philly. That's my matchup next week.
I like that call. I mean, it definitely either matchup, Dallas Philly or Dallas the Giants,
Should be a great
should
game.
be a great game. So I'm excited.
especially after the division has sucked for really since before the last time the Giants won a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
It's been terrible.
yeah, and then they just turned into the best division ever this year, where it's like, what?
Yeah.
In the 2000s and 90s, they were known for being like the division. When the Bills lost all those Super Bowls, Giants, Redskins, Cowboys.
were really good. Yep.
And yeah, it's kind of funny how like they've been literally the laughing stock of the NFL, and then just like this year, it's just a switch. It wasn't even like a gradual increase. It was literally just they're the best teams ever.
Mm-hmm.
We both picked Dallas to get last place, didn't we? Maybe
Third.
you did third. I picked them to get last
Last.
because I picked the Giants to get third.
Well, it was funny because their
We
over
thought
under
they
was
were gonna
10 and
be
a
so
half.
bad.
Their over under was 10 and a half, and I said it, and me and Antonio looked at
We were
each
like-
other. We were like, that's the easiest under of all time. Like you put your home on that under, and obviously it was.
Do we have records for? Do we have records?
I gotta do so much makeup homework. That's
All right,
so
yeah.
funny.
So should we save it for after the
It's all right.
year? Or?
Like in between the Super Bowl week, I'll get us an update and we'll get that
I
situated.
like that.
One pick, and I think we're all gonna have the same pick. It sounds like I like Dallas,
No, mine is
Kansas City.
Giants plus 7.5.
Oh, no, Giants.
I really think that's too big of a number.
I'll go another way too. Oh wow, it's supposed to snow on Sunday.
Snuffalo?
Yeah, I'll roll with Buffalo.
All right.
Snowflow.
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 We did a touchdown story piece. You had Justin Jefferson last week. You were wrong. I had Josh Allen. I was wrong. You had Christian McCaffrey, and you were correct. So,
Go.
and it's funny too because Sunday I parlayed Josh Allen and Justin Jefferson to score a touchdown, and then I listened back to the podcast Monday, and I was like, "Oh, that's why they didn't score a touchdown."
That's why I didn't hit.
Um,
Who do we like in this game?
I'm not taking anyone in the Cowboys game because Antonio's right. It could be like 13-10 Cowboys. I like
Cole Beasley.
Nah, he scored last week. He's not doing any damage.
Oh, he did score last week?
Yeah.
Damn
Yeah,
it,
he
I gotta
did.
pick somebody else.
This is the most Sally answer ever.
Let's go.
Josh Allen again. It's gonna be Josh Allen until he scores.
She's gonna keep martingaling it until he scores one. He gets one like the last possession of the Super Bowl.
I'd be like, yes.
Fuck. I mean, they're going to lose, but I'll say T. Higgins.
Ooh, okay.
You know which one I like?
What game?
Let's see if we can guess it. It's the Giants Philly game.
Do you like
Miles
Richie
Sanders.
James?
No.
Is that on the Eagles or Giants?
Hodgins? Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's really good.
Yeah,
He's
I
very
like him. He's changed that whole offense. He
And-
opened everything up.
I
real.
swear, whatever week I said it, I think I said it a week earlier too, but we didn't record or something like that. Like I said it one week, but I really said it like the previous week. I'm just saying I've been on that train since like
Oh, the Hodgins train?
Oh, so like since the second,
first game he played where they called him up from the practice squad, he looked like he had an
yeah,
impact.
bro. He was so good at Oklahoma State. It was ridiculous how good, or at Oregon State. It was ridiculous how good he was. And it's like, then he gets drafted in the 6th round, and I like saw where he got drafted, and I was like, he was good. That doesn't make any sense. And then the Bills cut him too, and then you guys ended up signing him. I was like, okay, like, I don't know.
I really like just a
Brian was
bonus
like,
one.
come back to Papa.
Yeah.
Bonus one in
Oh,
here.
wow.
I like Pacheco touchdown in
Ooh.
the Chiefs game.
All right.
That was just a bonus one that I had. But I think Hodgins.
What's the bowl? I mean, I just my bold prediction is the Jaguars win.
What's my bold prediction? Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Mine would probably be that the Giants win.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be mine.
You gotta give us a fun one now. You're saying that too.
Oh.
Nah, I'll do a fun
I can't
one.
think of anything fun.
I'll do a fun one.
I was almost gonna I was thinking something about Zeke
Brock
in my head.
Purdy throws 2 interceptions.
Mm.
That's my other one.
I'll say
Mine will be New York Giants win by over a touchdown.
Okay.
I was gonna go like inverse of that. I was gonna say Eagles win by 21 plus.
Okay.
Do it.
Do it.
Not like I'm picking that, but like I could see that. That's my bold prediction.
The Giants are rolling so much.
Give us Sal, give us like a
They go
score
in
prediction you
handedly.
got for any of these games.
Exact score: Dallas 13, San Francisco 10.
Oh. Wow. That probably have some juicy odds on it.
The Giants game is literally going to end 19-16. No matter who wins, it's going to be 19-16. And
Okay.
someone's kicking a field goal.
If Jacksonville wins 33-31, Jacksonville Jaguars.
I like 34-28 Buffalo.
One of those has to be right.
34-28 Buffalo. And Buffalo would just cover that
Buffalo.
spread, even though I picked Sin City cover.
I like it.
So one of these teams is getting in the 30s. And if we're saying Dallas and San Fran is going to
Well,
be
who
a
are we
defense
saying?
game,
Who's the highest scoring team of the weekend? That's also like a little fun one.
The Bills.
Probably Kansas City's the easiest choice.
I would say the Bills too, honestly, Antonio.
I think they're going to have a really
I'll
good
say
game.
KC.
Lowest scoring team of the weekend? San Fran. That's a crazy one.
That would be a crazy one. Philly.
I was going to say I'm thinking either in the
Philly.
Giants game or the Dallas game, but I'll go San Fran.
The Philadelphia
Oh, especially 'cause, like,
Eagles.
The Niners have looked so good for so long. Like teams have stinkers. You saw it with Dallas a couple weeks ago. You said it. They do it like
But
once a
here's the
month.
thing,
Yeah.
though. Last week I said, are the lights too bright for Brock Purdy here? But
Right.
he stepped up to the plate, man. I mean, Seattle probably wasn't the best team to
We
play
just
against,
haven't-
And
but-
it's a revenge game.
Yeah, we just haven't seen
And it's
Purdy.
a revenge. Dude, I love Dallas in that game.
We just haven't seen Purdy show his adolescence yet. So
Yeah. Dude, they lost on that stupid ass Dak play last
Oh.
year. They come back. They slay Brady. If honestly, dude, if they beat San Francisco, I might be all in on them on the championship.
that was the one where
game.
he ran up and slid with like 8 seconds
and then
left.
they turned it spiked it.
That was dumb.
Do you,
that was awesome.
They're probably pissed, dude.
I don't know if they're pissed.
Either
'cause,
that
like,
or Dak
that was
throws
like
5
Dak's
picks.
fault, though.
That's Mike McCarthy's fault.
Oh yeah, well I mean Dak probably should have slid a little earlier. He ran like so far.
Whatever. We're not going back into that one. That one was faded. That was faded play of the year.
Fated play of the year. What was fated play of the year this year?
Brady's fucking interception, maybe. Oh no, the Patriots. The Patriots.
Oh yeah, the Patriots.
Yeah.
That's a no doubter.
Easily.
No
Regular
brainer.
season.
It's almost boring how much of a no brainer
Super Wildcard Weekend. It's Tyler Huntley trying to. It's Tyler Huntley's
Trying to dunk on the goal line, even though he's 2 yards away.
Yeah, 2
Yeah.
yards away, and he's not even like
That tall.
a big taller
Yeah.
quarterback. Like Jones and Lawrence and Allen can get away with that because they can use their body to get over that.
So stupid.
A guy that short, you need to be like a running back and get a running start if you're gonna make it over that line.
I agree. That was wild. That was fated play of the weekend.
For show, baby, for show.
Is that all we got?
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I'm gonna eat.
Yeah, you are.
I'm gonna eat so much food.
I'm making noises over here.
All right, later,
Adios.
gentlemen.
Bye.